we will show no mercy on our enemies. Let me be very clear. Israel will not stop until all of our hostages are back home. We will make it very clear to the Security Council
In the early hours of Tuesday, Israeli airstrikes targeted Gaza, shattering the ceasefire with Hamas and leading to widespread devastation. According to medical sources reported by Al Jazeera, at least 308 Palestinians have been killed in the latest wave of bombings, with 154 fatalities reported from the northern part of Gaza alone. Many of the victims include women and children, highlighting the brutal nature of the attack, which struck densely populated urban areas, makeshift schools, residential buildings, and areas housing displaced people in tents. The airstrikes that began at around 2:30 a.m. local time, which is 20 minutes past midnight GMT, come after more than 2 weeks of Israel blocking all aid and goods from entering Gaza. Israeli officials defended the airstrikes, claiming they were a response to Hamas's refusal to release captives in Gaza and its failure to agree to ceasefire proposals from U.S. presidential envoy Steve Witkoff and other international mediators.
The Israeli Air Force initiated a series of attacks against Hamas targets in Gaza. We will show no mercy on our enemies. Let me be very clear. Israel will not stop until all of our hostages are back home. We will make it very clear to the Security Council that if they want to stop the war in Gaza, they have to ensure that the hostages are coming back to Israel. We are committed to bring them back.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office issued a statement justifying the attacks, citing the group's continued resistance to peace talks. The political response in Israel has been largely supportive of the renewed strikes. Far-right Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who welcomed the escalation, said that the return to intensive attacks on Gaza was part of a planned strategy by the new Israeli Army Chief of Staff. He described the renewed fighting as completely different from previous operations. Similarly, far-right Israeli politician Itamar Ben-Gvir, who resigned as National Security Minister over the ceasefire deal, also backed the attacks, calling them a correct and justified step. However, Hamas has condemned the renewed military action, with Izzat al-Sheikh, a member of its political bureau, accusing Israel of sacrificing the lives of its captives in Palestine. In a statement, al-Sheikh said, and I quote, "Netanyahu's decision to return to war is a decision to sacrifice the prisoners of occupation and a death sentence against them. Israel would not succeed through war and destruction in achieving what it had failed to gain through negotiations." The renewed fighting has intensified the already dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza, which has been ongoing for 16 days since the 12th of March. The government media office in Gaza warned that the escalation would only worsen the situation. With borders shut and aid blocked, the people of Gaza are left to endure unbearable conditions, facing shortages of basic necessities and a collapsing infrastructure. For more updates on Israeli airstrikes in Gaza and what happens to the ceasefire deal with Hamas now, stay tuned to the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express.